Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Serena B here, and welcome to a new video. I am so excited to share with you guys my spooky, kooky little paper houses. Before I get into that, I just want to say hi, and if you're new, welcome. I'm already in spooky mode. It's been like this since January, let's be honest. So I'm going to be kicking off my spooky crafting with these paper houses, and the next project I'll be working on is my October daily and things like that. So if you are interested, I'm thinking of doing an October daily flip through of some of my albums I haven't shared on YouTube, so check back for that. Alright, so I made these paper houses inspired by Polka Dot Mailbox, Toni. She did these whimsical houses a few weeks ago, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is genius. It looks like so much fun, a perfect way to use up your scraps, and I knew I had to make some spooky houses, or spooky haunted houses. So before I show you and talk through each house, I just want to show you the different adhesives I used. And so I'm affiliated with Tombow. I'm on their ambassador team. I've been on their team for years. I've been on their design team twice. I just love Tombow adhesives, Tombow products, Tombow everything. And so just a little shout out to Tombow right now. So I use the Dots Adhesive Mono glue runner and the Tombow Mono glue stick for gluing down all the scraps of paper to the backing. So what I did originally was I added it to a manila folder, and then I backed all the houses on black cardstock, and all of that was added using either the glue stick or the Mono Dots adhesive. These are my favorite for paper and adhering things like that. And then I also use the Tombow Extreme adhesive and the Tombow Mono liquid glue, aqua liquid glue. Basically, I use this for all of the stuff you see, like all the trims and certain embellishments were added with this because it's extreme. It has a really strong hold, and I love using it for trims and ribbons and stuff because you don't have to wait for it to dry. And then for stuff like these different jemmies and buttons and like the bats on the top, I also use the Mono Aqua liquid glue to adhere the more embellishment type of things. So buttons, bats, spiders, these type of bats. I'd even use it for the trim here. I would interchange between the different adhesives that I had around me, but these are the 4 go-to adhesives that I used for these houses. And I also used the Tombow Mono drawing pens to outline all the different houses and windows and doors. Everything was outlined, and I made like zigzags and doodles and stuff like that. It was all done with these pens right here. They're amazing. I used the 01, the 02, and the 005. So each one has like a pairing. I made a big one and a little one for each sort of collection I was working with. Except for this one. This is made using my Beetlejuice collection, which mixes Beetlejuice and Halloween into one, basically. So for this house, I just used different patterns for my Beetlejuice collection, and then I have this scrap. This is from a My Mind's Eye collection, I believe, Something Wicked it was called, from many years ago, and it had this beautiful black and white stripe glittery pattern paper that I still have some left over and some scraps, so I used it here and on that roof over there. And then I added a button here to mimic the doorknob. And then this is some embellishments from some die cuts from the collection. I just put it on top of this little label here, Strange and Unusual. Some of it had to be covered up, but that's okay. Actually, the bat, this is not supposed to be so high up. The bat moved somehow, but there you go, that's better. Added some rickrack, and then these are some bat jemmies for my stash, and then I added some rickrack here just to give it some more dimension and interest on the house. And then for the top, for the smoke, I used some seam binding ribbon for the smoke. And then up here I have these like little bat wings, and then I took one of these wood veneers that I painted white that I had in my stash, and I just mimicked that little top skeleton part that comes out when Beetlejuice comes out of the village. I actually have that in the collection as well as part of an embellishment, but I definitely had to create that a little nod up here to the movie and Beetlejuice, and I'm so excited for Beetlejuice. Don't even get me started. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I actually want to host a challenge or something. So let me know if you'd be interested in participating in a challenge, in a Beetlejuice challenge. I would love to try that out. I haven't done a challenge in a while, so let me know if you're interested in participating in a Beetlejuice challenge. I think that would be fun. For this house, this is Paper Cakes collection. This is mixing my Spooky Pastel, my October Nights collection. There's a bit of Jeepers Creepers in there as well. And then I even added a ghosty for my more recent collection, Spooky Love. I added him in the window here. I think he's cute. And also the bats are from Spooky Love. And then the heart pattern here, this is from Love Bites. So a bunch of different Paper Cakes collections in the mix here. Hey, there's a bee at the window. Hi, bee. And I inked everything with Black Soot Tim Holtz Distress ink. And like I said, I lined everything with black gel pen, and then I went over it with white gel pen. So for this one, scraps, windows, what else can I talk about? I think it's really cute. I like this little bat element up here. I think every house has a bat on the roof. Yeah, they do. So here I layered 2 different types of ribbons, and then I added these bat embellishments on top. The doorknob is a little skull cabochon, and then I added stickles to the ghost, the bats, and then up here the spiderweb window. I don't know if you can see that, but there's stickles on the spiderwebs as well. And then for the chimney smoke, I used this art fiber, this art yarn that I bought from my friend Cassandra. She is Ever So Sweet Designs on Instagram, and she let me buy some of her stash so I'm not sure who actually created the art yarn, but I know I bought it from her stash. But what I did here was on this one, I wrapped this beautiful, if you watch my previous videos where I show you the projects I made with my Spooky Love collection, I use this ribbon, I use this thread in there as well. So I just kind of swooped it all around it and then added some glue to hold it in certain spots so it doesn't go anywhere. And I think that one looks really cute like that. And then yeah, so that is this house. I think it's super cute. And if in case you're wondering what am I going to do with these, some of them are going to be just home decor. I'm going to have them around my craft room. I want to include some in my October daily. It could be such like a cute little, depending on how big your album is. Obviously this could be a page, this could be just like a tip-in or something like that. You can you know, I'm going to be swapping some of these and giving them in Happy Mail. So there's different ways you can use that. These houses, they're super cute. One person even suggested on Instagram you can turn it into a garland, which I think would look really cute. And if you have a bunch of them, you can make like a little scene, like a little village scene for home decor. Honestly, whatever you think of doing with them, you can, because there's so many different possibilities and ways you can play with these. This house right here looks like this, and what I did differently here was I used a Martha Stewart bow punch, and I punched out some pink paper from the collection that coordinated. I added the spiderweb in the middle to make it look like a spiderweb bow on the door, and then for the doorknob I just took some of this rickrack and I just folded it over and stapled it over here. So that's a little bit different. For this window I added a little bat, and then up here I added a spider to balance it off here, and then there's another bat on top. Again, some of that art yarn for smoke and scraps of paper from, again, there's 3 collections here I can see. Jeepers Creepers, October Nights, and Spooky Pastel. So those are the Paper Cakes houses. Look how cute they look. Oh, so fun. So for this house, I did some different techniques here. This is the first house though that I did add that smoke. I don't know if you can tell, but the thread is like a super light pink. Some of it is white, like it goes from pink to white, and there's a bunch of different colors in it too. There was yellow, but I went with the ones that would go nicely with the houses I was making. So you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but there's some iridescent like twine in there as well, or yarn, or whatever they're called, I don't know, in there as well. So I think this makes the perfect little chimney smoke. So the scraps I used on this house was just whatever I had in my Halloween bin of scraps. So I know some collections, this is Echo Park, this is Hey Pumpkin, this is Hey Pumpkin, this is from Cartabella, this is from American Crafts, Beautiful Nights, this is from Cartabella. So really this is from Simple Stories, so there's really a lot of different scraps from my stash. There's not one collection that I used for here, but I wanted to make it more of a traditional colorway for Halloween. So for the windows, I used these scraps of paper to mimic like the pumpkin faces and the ghosts inside the house. So these are the windows. I added some scraps of paper, the polka dot white and black, and then I added some sparkly black rickrack on top of it to make it look like a windowsill. For the door, I used some more trim and a button And then up here, I layered pink pom-pom trim. And then what I did was I added these beads on fishing wire, and I just tied the knots on the side, glued it down, and then trimmed it. So that way it's nice and secure. And I added a dot of, and I added both this and the Tombow Extreme adhesive behind each bead to adhere it down. And then up here, this is a name of the collection, like, you know, the branding strips. And so what I did was I just cut it. It was in my scrap bin. I again layered everything. I like to mimic the faux stitching because I don't have a sewing machine. That's why I did all of those doodles with the black pen and the gel pen, the white gel pen. So I doodled over everything to kind of give it more dimension. And then I added some of that black shiny rickrack again. Originally I had the 31 on the door, and I really liked that because it kind of reminded me of an address. It still reminds me of an address, but like the address is on the roof of the house versus on the door. But I really did like it on the door. I decided to go with adding it on the top because I thought it was too orange heavy down here and not enough up there, because if I didn't have this, it would just be like with the Halloween, and it would be a little bit unbalanced visually, to me at least. So I decided to, because I had a different button here first, I switched out the button, put the orange here, so it kind of gives it a nicer balance. For me, at least, that's what looked better. And then up here I have a Tim Holtz bat. I think I talked about everything in this one. I really wanted to include this moon on the roof of this house because I kind of wanted to mimic like the sky somehow, and I really love how that looks. So I'm definitely going to be using this displayed in my craft room for sure because I love it. And then the mini house that goes with it is another one of my favorites. Again, scraps from we have Hey Pumpkin, we have the, I forgot what this one is, I want to say Beautiful Nights. This is After Dark. This is from Echo Park. This is from Icky Success. This is from After Dark, but it's a digital. This is from Hey Pumpkin, Hey Pumpkin. Anyway, doesn't really matter. They're just scraps. If you wanted to make this project at home, just use what you have. So what I did here was, this is also from that Something Wicked collection from My Mind's Eye that matched the this paper here. So you can see this paper has a black and silver glitter. I wish collections would bring that back because it was really beautiful. Anyway, I added some of that rickrack here just for interest and to kind of create a windowsill. I love this window so much because it's like the little ghosties are in there. Added a bat to kind of just embellish this window here. Added some more trim here. I layered two types of trims, orange and this tinselly black one. And then for this window, I just left that bat visible and I just added like a little trimming on top. Another little bat up here to mimic the bats down here. So there's 3 elements of 3. And then up here some more of that art yarn for the chimney smoke. I apologize if the lighting is changing. The sun is going down and it's casting some shadows, so I hope that it's still good. So the last set of houses are these right here, and this is using the Prima collection from Frank Garcia. They came out with 3 collections that are very similar the last 3 years. So this was like last year and the year before. Okay, anyway. So for this house, I've made it a little bit differently, and I might actually go back and do the same thing for the other ones. I turned this one into a card or a pocket. It helps it stand up, but the idea is that I would put some goodies here or a letter for my pen pal, and then that way they can take out the goodies. And obviously I'll decorate it a little bit more, and then when they're done with it, they can display it in their craft room. It'll stand up, and I think that's such a cute little idea. But yeah, I think it's so pretty. I love this one. It's another one of my favorites. So I just realized these two I did not doodle in white. I might go back and add some white, but if not, it looks good either way with just the black doodles. All right, so let's start from the bottom. So I made the door with scraps. I lined it with this pretty silver tinsel ribbon to mimic the tinsel up here. I made these windows differently. For this one, I actually had like little, you know, characters and stuff that I can put inside the window. So that's what I did for this house. So there's a little ghost that I cut from the pattern paper, and I added some frosted lace stickles to the ghosts. Now I don't know if that's picking up. I can't tell. I think you can see it this way. So I added some stickles to the ghosts, And then there's some more bat embellishments. And then this is a sentiment from the collection, the ephemera. I just cut it in half and put that on the window for some interest. And then this literal, like, little itty bitty scraps that I had of this pattern paper, I didn't want it to go to waste, and I actually just lined the bottoms of the windows with them to make it look like a windowsill. So I really didn't want to waste anything. And then up here I layered some pom-pom trim, and then this pink Prima trim, but this is from a Christmas collection that came out last year. And then I layered on top of that this tinsel trim that I got last year during Christmas as well, but this is from Michaels. So I layered all those three, and I really like how that looks. For the roof, I kind of struggled with this one because it's such a big open space. Originally this window was going to go up there, but I didn't like how it looked visually, and I wanted a ghost in the attic, so I went with this way. So it's a little bare up here, but I think it looks still looks really nice. So what I did here, this is an ephemera die cut from the collection. It's supposed to be a wax seal. I just doodled around it and put the ghost inside to make it look like it's a window in the attic, and I like that a lot. And for this one I added some crinkled seam binding that I just basically wet with water and crinkled it, and when it dried it looks like this. So I added that on top, and I just stapled it down for added interest. The top has a Tim Holtz bat. This one's a little bit bigger than the one before. And I think I covered everything. Again, this is a little pocket. You can write your message here and put some die cuts and some goodies in here, or you can write your letter and tuck it in. If you were to do this yourself, you can decorate the back of it. You can do like an inside of the house kind of look. That'd be cool. But yeah, that's a different idea on how you can use these houses. You can make them into cards for your pen pals. And then the last house looks like this. Oop, the chimney moved a little. There you go, chimney smoke. All right, so for this house, again, scraps. For the doorknob, I used a scrap of this tinsel. This window has a little pumpkin guy. I really wanted to use him. So this is a die cut, and I just cut it to fit inside the window. And then this is like a border strip. Instead of throwing it out, I just trimmed out the little music note scallops, and I added that as the windowsill, and I added a spider. Up here I layered some purple pom-pom trim and then some black glittery trim. And then this window here I have another ghosty. I also added some stickles on that one, another spider, embellishment, added some trim here to the window, and then this bat up here. And then for the roof I added a little bit of extra trim here. And to make things a little different, I added the wire ribbon, like from here. But I kind of curved the wire so that it looks like the little puffs of smoke is coming out from the chimney. So that's it. These are all my houses. So if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I tried to go through this a little quickie. I try to go through this video a little quicker so it's not too long, but if you have any questions or want to know a little bit more detail about something or a specific house in particular, let me know and I'll gladly answer your questions in the comments. And yeah, let me know what you think. Which is your favorite house? If you could live in any of them, which ones would you live in and why? I think for me, okay, I think I would live in either these 5 houses. I think they're super cute. Okay, let's just pick the bigger houses because I can fit in it better. Just kidding. So yeah, I think these are my top 3 favorite houses. I think so. I love them all, but if I had to choose, it would be probably these 3. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to know more, like I said, please leave me a comment. If you have any video suggestions you want to see from me, or if you're curious about anything, just let me know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!